Okay, let's start off by just showing you what the program is going to do. Okay, your year mark, exam mark, click on process data. Then it's just going to ask you what the percentage of the year mark must count, 90%, let's say 10% for the exam mark, and then it will calculate a final mark for you. Okay, but the main purpose of this program is that I can show you how the class and the object will work. Okay, so to create a new separate unit, let's say you don't have it yet, you just go to File, New, then you can add a new unit. Okay, in the new unit or unit 2, we usually declare our class. Okay, in unit 1 is where all the coding for your GUI will be, and where you will declare your object and create your object and free your object. If you want to view your unit where the class is, or unit 2, you can go to view unit over here, and then you can just select class learner. Okay, remember, if you want to switch to a different form, you can also use the view form. Okay, so now I am in my class unit. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the users, all the models that I'm going to use. And the one that I'm going to use is sysutil, so I'm only going to add this one. And then I'm going to create my new type. When you create a new data type that is not yet known to Delphi, it's called data abstraction. I'm going to say tLearner, T because it's a new type, equals class. In brackets, I'm going to add tObject, so it's going to inherit all the properties and events from the class tObject. Okay, usually under private you will have all your fields or your properties, but you can also still have something. It's not always the case that all the fields will be, and all the methods will be on the public and all the fields will be on private, but most of the cases that will be the case. Okay, so I have fname, year mark, exam mark, final mark. On the public I have all my methods. Okay, methods, all my events. Okay, I have my constructor, create, and a procedure and few functions. And when you click Ctrl-Shift-C, it will auto-complete these methods for you. So if you did everything right here and you click Ctrl-Shift-C, it will auto-complete it for you. So let's just try to show you what will happen. Okay, so let's say I don't have this constructor yet, and I click behind my constructor create, and I say Ctrl-Shift-C, it will auto-complete the method for you. Okay, but we're not going to use that one. We're going to use this one. Okay, so then everything will be empty. Then you can go to your main unit. First thing over here, you must add the unit of the class under the users. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is you must create an object variable. So you must create a new object according to the class tLearner. Okay, so I started with obj just to show you, or just to let me know that it's an object learner, and it created according to tLearner. That means that this object will have these fields or properties and these events or methods. Okay. If I remove this, the class learner unit, Delphi will not know where to find this class tLearner, because it's nowhere in this unit will Delphi find anything about tLearner. Okay, so as soon as you see that there's a syntax error under your class type, then you know that you must add your unit under the users. Okay, that's the second step, is this one. Third one is you must create an instance of that object. Okay, to create an instance of that object, you say the object is equals to tLearner.create. Okay, .create, then you will create an object. Create an object. If you want to free that object, usually under close or somewhere, you will say object.free. Okay, another commonly made error is when you type in, say object learner dot, then it will pop up the create for you. Okay, this is wrong. You should not do it like this. Make sure that you say object learner is equals to t learner create. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at some of the methods that we are using. In step 2, when you create this object, tLearner is going to call the create constructor. Every time when an object is created, it's going to call the constructor and it's going to do all the coding inside this constructor. Usually what we use the create for is to initialize values. When you click on this process, click, is going to call the constructor create. It's going to send this value, edit, name the text, it's going to put it into sname. It's going to take the set year mark value, which is an integer, it's going to put it into iy mark, which is also integer. So make sure that the parameters is actually correct that you are giving over. This is also integer, is going to go into this one. And then the sname will go to fname. Remember, everything under private is hidden from the rest of the program. So you can't access fname or fyearmark directly from the main unit. For example, you can't say object learner dot fname. Okay, so it's hidden from the rest of the program because it's under private. So you will not be able to access it. That is called encapsulation. Okay, so back to my constructor. You receive all those values and then you assign it to all your fields or your properties. Okay, so you are initializing values for your fields. Then the second thing is going to ask for input boxes, it's going to save it into your variables, and then you are going to call a procedure calculate final mark, and it's going to send that value that you entered into the input box, and it's going to put it into this parameter over there. It's going to take the second one and it's going to put it into that parameter over there, and then it's going to do the calculation and it's going to save it into the field f final mark. Okay, f final mark, which is this field over here. We initialized it as 0, but now in the main unit we are calling a procedure to override that value, and is going to put it into f final mark over there. Okay, the next one is going to say reach edit lines that add object learner dot toString. So it's going to call the toString function. So obviously, like the name says, it's going to convert something to a string and then it's going to send it back. If we are sending something back with a function, we are going to use result. You can either use result or you can use the function name to send that value back. Okay, so toString, let's have a look at this one. Okay, I declared a variable str, added the name plus the value of fname, which was typed in to the edit box. Remember, it was typed into the edit box. Then when the constructor was created, I use that name and I send it with the constructor into sname, and then from sname it went to fname. Okay, so all those fields are basically populated now. So fname plus hashtag 13, which is the enter key on the keyboard, so it will make a new line in your reach edit. Year mark plus hashtag 9, which is the tab button on your keyboard. Okay, then it's just adding some of the information all together, and I'm putting it into str, and then in the next line I'm using this whole thing that I saved into str plus hashtag 13, which is enter, plus the final mark, plus hashtag 9, which is the tab button, the tab button, and I'm sending all of that, all this information, as I'm sending it back as one string back to the main program. So when I call this toString method, it's gonna do all of this, and it's going to send the value back using the result. I'm going to send it back into my rich edit, and then it will be displayed in the red output. Okay, so data abstraction is when we create a new data type that's not yet known to Delphi. Inheritance is when we inherit properties and events from a previous class that already exists. Encapsulation is when we hide some of the coding or fields from the rest of the program. Let's look at a few methods. First one is a mutator. A mutator is a procedure or a method that will change some of the values of the fields. Create, when you call this constructor or this procedure, it actually changed the values of fName and fYearMark, fExamMark and fFinalMark. It initialized the values, so it changed the values of the fields. So that's why it's a mutator. The next one, auxiliary. Auxiliary is used when you calculate something. Okay, so with toString, we are just calculating one string to send back. So we're not changing values. We're not just only fetching values. We are calculating something new to send back. So I would say auxiliary usually is a function most of the time, but not always. Then accessor is a function or a method that will only send back one of the fields for you. Okay, so because these fields is on the private and it's hidden from the rest of the program, you are not allowed to access it from the main unit. So if you want to get the values under private, you must write a function to go fetch it for you. That function or procedure must be under the public of the class to be able to get access to it. Okay, so coding for getName will be fName, and that will be sent back. Okay, so it will send back fName, this will send back the YearMark, and this will send back the ExamMark. The calculate final mark. When you look at it quickly, you would think that because it's calculating something, it might be an auxiliary because it might calculate something. But the calculate final mark actually changes one of the fields. It changes fFinalMark. And because it changes fFinalMark, it's a mutator, because the mutator is a method that changes one of your fields. Okay, so this one, calculate final mark, is not an auxiliary, it's a method, a mutator method. Accessors, the giveaway for accessors also might start with the word get, because it's only going to get something. Mutators usually start with something like calculate or determine something, but not always the case. Like in this example, it's a mutator and not an auxiliary. Recap everything quickly. If you want to create your new class, you can say File, New, Unit. You're going to add your type, the users, the unit type. TLearner is a class. On the private, usually all your fields. On the public, all your methods and your events. And then Control-Shift-C will auto complete everything for you. Go back to main unit, add the unit, the class unit, declare the object according to TLearner, and then you're going to create call your constructor create, or physically create an instance of your class, and then you might be calling some of your methods in that class. Usually it ends with a toString to display everything for you, and then you can free it from the memory. Okay, another thing that I can maybe add here is the constructor is a procedure that is called when you create your object. But you can rename this constructor. You can rename it to something like start, and then when you call that constructor, you must just make sure that you call it by the new name. So then you can't say tlearner.create, you should say tlearner.start to be able to call that constructor. Okay, so you can rename a constructor. Remember, a constructor is actually a procedure. It's not sending back a value for you. Yes, and abstraction, new data type, inheritance, inherit something from a previous class, encapsulation, hides some of the coding to the rest of the program, mutator method, changes one of the fields, keywords there that you might see is that it starts off with a set because it's setting values. Auxiliary is when you calculate something new. So giveaway words is calculate or determine. Not always the case like this example, which is actually a mutator. And accessor methods usually starts with the words get, because it's only going to get values for you, fetch values for you. Okay, so this is the steps to create a class and to make an object according to your new class.